So we who you call the Crystal Council, we are excited. We are excited for a number of reasons. In the first place, of course, that there is an increasing number of people that begins to become aware of our existence. Because if people are aware of our existence, it is possible to create a connection, an interaction, and you can say to support each other. But we're also excited because you're beginning to find the different portals that are connected to the systems from where we operate, so to speak. And that is exciting because that stimulates, again, the connection, and it makes it easier to have a connection. And we are excited because you realize how far actually the connections go between this planet, your planet, and many other planets and star systems. From our perspective, this is exciting because it begins to grow into the realization that nothing is independent of anything else. It is that increasing awareness of all those interconnections where every system, whether you call it a planet or a star system or even a galaxy, each have their function, their dynamic, and are interacting with all the other systems in the universe. If you really allow that to sink into your awareness, you may understand that it is important to look into the system you call Earth, but also into the system that you call Earth and her connection with all the other systems. And through that, you induce a dynamic, you induce a way of functioning of consciousness that can make changes that can be very, very, very intense and supportive for the whole. When you look at the Earth as it is now, then I think we all agree that the Earth is not in balance, or we should say it differently, that the Earth and everything that lives on her is not in balance. And the main cause are human beings. Those who are supposed to have the ability to be co-creators, the ability to support the evolution of this beautiful system that you call Earth, those have lost their way. And we look at that and we are sad about it, and we know it is a part of, you can say, your journey. We will never do anything to force you to do things differently, because that would be totally against the free will. But we will continuously invite you and, so to speak, knock on your door of your awareness and say, hello, is anybody home? Is anybody there that is willing to listen? Is anybody there that is willing to not only listen, but then to take actions and function from the perspective of realizing something needs to happen? And in that process of something needs to happen, it's very important that you realize that it needs to come from the heart. There's a lot that is happening on this planet, but most of it is coming from the mind. And there's, from a certain perspective, nothing wrong with it. The mind needs to basically carry out what the heart is telling, but most people do not bring in the heart. So it comes only from the mind. And then it becomes, you can say, more your personal preferences. You cannot go to a totality of, we should say it differently, the evolution of the totality without following your hearts, because only the heart knows. That's how everything has been created. What you call your heart is your connection, as you know, with your essence, your spiritual essence, your consciousness, your higher consciousness, that will bring through the messages that then through the mind can be carried out. And there is the only way you can resolve the issues on this planet. And we emphasize that. The only way. In the mind alone, you have tried that, you're working it out, you make models, you do come up with all kinds of ideas, and it doesn't work. Mankind has lost their ways because they are not connected with their hearts. And you can say that besides all the information that we make available, the connection you can make with us, the guidance that we can give to you, all of that is beautiful, but it's only truly valuable if you listen from your heart what our messages mean before you start acting on it. Don't run away with what your mind is telling you based on a little flash that you can receive from our messages. It is a willingness to allow it to sink in and then to feel from your heart what for you then is the right action. And we see that there is an improvement in that sense, that there is a shift at a certain group of people more towards their heart. But we also see at the same time that there is a tremendous amount of people that goes increasingly in their minds and in their fears and in their worries. And that makes it, from a collective point of view, not that easy to shift. And we are increasingly present because there is an increasing group of people that is inviting us. And it's not only about the Crystal Council, it's about a tremendous amount of beings, and not only humanoids. There are many other beings that you would not even know how to describe that have an interest in supporting this planet. Because, as you now know, based on what we shared, what happens to this planet has an effect on all of us. Can you really imagine what we just say? That what you do here on this planet has an effect on all other beings in the universe? Because you're so interconnected, you're not separated. You're part of the whole. And yes, in every whole there are parts where you can say they're not functioning optimal. You see that within your society, and it is true in a group, it's always true. But it doesn't mean that we should stop trying to get your attention, giving you messages in order to create opportunities for you. We are extremely excited about certain activities that certain group of people have, and the Crystalline movement is definitely one that we are very excited about, in the same way as connecting with your family in the stars is of course very important. It's one of the reasons why they have been created, because they are created through the heart. And that is where further development can be expected from. And still, it is a choice. Can you listen to your heart? What is important for you? Or are you listening to your mind or the minds of others and start acting from there? Keep asking yourself this question regularly, because that will be the major factor for true change that will bring this planetary system to a totally different level, due to which it can function within the totality more in harmony. What that means, we cannot even express it. It will definitely mean expansion of love, expansion of joy, expansion of happiness, expansion of harmony, and of course, expansion of love. Who doesn't want to contribute to that? We're always grateful when we can give a message, even though most of what we say is never new. But it is, you can say, an opportunity for us not to only use words, but with the words to send energies that can support you if you are open for it. Thank you for giving us the opportunity, and thank you for listening.